Keimoes Magistrate's court on a charge of murder. Upington has been in turmoil since last week Wednesday morning when police officer Stefano Visagie was fatally stabbed to death. It's believed the foreign national is responsible for the killing. The community of Rosedale at Upington has vowed to remove all drug dealers from their town. For more on the story, let's cross live to SABC News reporter Ulrich Hendricks. A very good morning to you, Ulrich. What can you tell us this morning?
Hi, good morning, Desiree White. This morning we're at Keimoes Magistrate's Court. Of course, Keimoes is the place where the policemen were killed last week. He was allegedly stabbed while he was sleeping by the foreign national, a Nigerian man. Of course, community are speculating and police is investigating the link that this has a drug element to it. But since the killing last week Wednesday, first it started in the Upington area. The community from Rosedale there started going to various shops and homes of foreign nationals, most notably Nigerians, and then saying that those people were responsible for selling drugs within those communities. A lot of them were evicted. Police had to rescue quite a number of them. And this, of course, spread to Keimoes area where the incident originally happened. We're also getting reports that it also spread to Keimoes, which is another 90 kilometers from Upington. So really this whole thing is spreading. But to talk to us about this more, we've got Stanley Peterson. He's, of course, one of the community members. Stanley, let's get this out of the way first. Are you targeting foreign nationals? Is this a case of xenophobia?
I will start with this. We are not xenophobic, neither are we anti-African. This thing of drugs affects us all. One thing that the community say, when we were in exile, we went to Nigeria because of our safety. But what happens here? Our Nigerian brothers came to South Africa and selling drugs. So the message is very clear. We are not xenophobic, neither anti-African. We are against drugs. There's a war against drugs in the Northern Cape.
But I was with you for two days last week while these protests were going on. I never saw you going to an alleged drug dealer of a South African descent.
I can tell you now, you can go to social media. We went to all South African citizens that are selling drugs. As we're standing now this morning, a few of them appear in Upington court. I'm talking about South Africans. So from now, if we finish here, we're going to South Africans. We're first dealing now with this Nigerian drug lord here, and then we're dealing with the South African drug lords. So this is not a thing about South African or citizen or non-citizen. It's about drugs.
You went from the protest in Upington Wednesday and Thursday, and then you guys started here in Keimoes as well.
What happened here in Keimoes? Let me tell you the story. We find 38 Nigerian nationals without any papers. One of them is called Junior. Junior said he opened his eyes in a toolbox in Keimoes from Nigeria. He doesn't know how did he came here. He opened his eyes in Keimoes. So none of them have got papers, but they're selling drugs. There was a drug burst here. When we were here, we find some of them staying with 5 pigs in one house, small pigs. And another thing, we must emphasize this thing very clearly. There's no space for anyone, whether you're from South Africa, Nigeria, Malawi, Somalia, for drugs here. Yes. You're killing our children. You're killing our women. Yes. Yesterday, one of our people were beaten to death in Keimoes, the second murder by a national. Yes. And that national is not from Nigeria. Yes. So this is not a Nigerian thing. It's about drugs. Yes. We found here in Keimoes 600 ID cards and SASA cards, grant cards here in Keimoes with this operation. 600 at the foreign national. Why? Why are they doing this?
But tell us, what do you eventually want? Because this is communities. It looks like vigilantism. It looks like xenophobia to the outside world. Don't you think that you should get the police and security agencies involved?
My brother, we'll get the security agencies involved here, not the police. The police are corrupt from bottom until top. Yes. They are corrupt. When we were here in Keimoes, the captain here transported the drug dealers to Upington. When we raided one of the houses, the captain's wife was saying You can take everything in the fridge, but the fridge belongs to me. What is the fridge doing in the drug lord's house? So that is a problem. Our problem is the news go around, the Nigerians said the police are on the payroll. So really, they are good policemen, they are very good policemen. But we have a problem now. We want government, we urge government to send a special investigation team to Upington. Because why? We lost faith now in certain policemen here. I'm talking not about honorable, I'm talking about high-ranking police officers here.
Thank you very much, Stanley Peterson. Very angry. He says that a lot of drugs in this community, it does affect the various households, communities, and even families as well. But the man who is alleged to have stabbed Stefano Visagie, that's the policeman, to death on Wednesday last week, he's currently being brought here to the Keimoes Magistrate Court. He has been there for about an hour, and his case, his first appearance is expected to be in the next hour or so. We expect it to be quite a quick appearance, Desiree. So it will last about 5 minutes. We expect the case to be postponed for about a week or so before it comes again here. But as Stanley was saying, as soon as this court appearance is done, they will then resume their operations, where they go to the various houses and businesses of foreign nationals who they allege are drug addicts, or drug dealers, and then try to get them out of business. Desiree?
Ulrich, thank you so much for that update coming to us from outside the Keimoes Magistrates Court in